There's an oldie for you. Oh, well, let's see who pops in this afternoon while I daydream outside. I was outside smoking a cigarette, and I could hear the wind blow and watching the trees move around. The wind sounded like music, and the trees were dancing to the music, you know? Getting some of my meditation on with Mother Nature. It helps. Yeah. Watching every move, huh? I feel sorry for you, homie. I do. Your voicemail, there's something in your voice that tells me you're hurting. And you just don't realize just how broken you are. And it makes me feel bad for you. You know, you telling me how you're watching every move I make and all that. Whatever happened to you as a kid, whoever taught you how to hate, I've been through a lot of shit as a kid. I've seen a lot of stuff. And friends that I've had in my youth who hate the way you do, their dad usually was a pretty bad person. And, you know, hating is a learned behavior. And whoever taught you how to hate as much as you do really fucked you up. And you mentioning about being part of the family tells me you're hungry for somebody in your life. But until you can admit just how broken you are, you'll never have anybody in your life. You'll continue to hate and stalk and do the shit you do and say the things you do. Yeah, I feel sad for you, dude. In that voicemail, there was some kind of cry for help. I could hear it. Anyway. Well, I see someone else has popped in, so maybe some of the regulars will get in here and I don't have to conversate with you, broken one. We're all broken one way or another, but it's what you do with that brokenness that defines you as a human being. You know, you admitting that you're part of the Nazi party tells me somebody taught you how to be a hater at a very young age. Oh, Dilbert's in the house? Good. Oh, yeah, I got all kinds of banners coming in. the notifications went out. Good to see you, Dilbert. I was just conversating with my stalker, the one that crank called me yesterday. His message was very sad. It really was. It got me thinking about what happened to him as a kid and how it shaped him as an adult to do the shit he does. It's unfortunate that folks don't know how to take what broke them and use it to turn them into a better person. His little cryptic threat about how he watches every move I make, it just makes me feel sorry for him. That was the phone call that came in during the live. I feel bad for that low-life stalker. He must have a miserable life. I hope he finds happiness. Me too, man. That's exactly what I was getting at, was I hope he can turn it around and find a way to be happy in life and not feel so driven to hate and fuck with people. But, you know, we all got to accept our shortcomings in life and find a way to turn it around, make your life better. Raymond Sacto's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good morning. Good to see you. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Well, thank you, Raymond. Same to you. Yeah, I was just kind of going on and on about my stalker and how I feel sorry for him. And I hope he finds his happy place. Eric's in the house. Good to see you. Always a pleasure, young man. Good. We got a couple of regulars in here. It's funny how YouTube sends me these suggestions, right? And something in the title piques my curiosity, so I watch a video. And this morning, I watched more than one video, and they were getting at how broken people who are struggling with life, ex-military, construction workers, the macho kind of people who go through a lot of shit, try to leave this world too early at their own hand, and how it really took me down memory lane about what I've been through as a kid with my mom and my brother both trying to do the same thing, ODing on pills and going to the hospital and visit them, and they get their stomach pumped with this charcoal stuff, and then they got all this black shit on their teeth. And so at a very young age, I lived through my own family trying to take themselves out, you know? And right now, there's a lot of military folks that struggle with those demons and they can't cope. And I understand how much it hurts. You know, when I was driving home from the vet, when I put Mama Dog down, I prayed out loud to the good Lord, please take me. Doing that myself is just not in me. Doesn't mean I didn't want to go, believe me. But I have an inner strength. I always have, even as a kid. You know, my Willie story. I should tell that right quick. A few new folks, and you never know who's going to see this later. So when I was 11, 12 years old, came home from the foster home to live with mom, and mom had to get her certificate to get housing authority, and mom had to get her approval for food stamps before the social worker would let me move back home. So she finally got that shit taken care of, and I moved back home, and we lived in this little ghetto one-bedroom apartment, and I slept on the couch, and mom had the bedroom. And we lived upstairs from this old man, Willie, that lived downstairs, this old black guy. And I was playing in the carport, and Willie's front door was right next to the carport, and he poked his head out, and he started talking to me and chatting me up and being friendly and nice or whatever. And I go upstairs later and was talking to mom, and I said, hey, I met Willie. And mom's face got real red, and she got pissed. Fuck that guy. I was like, why? What's wrong? He seemed like a nice guy. So mom proceeds to tell me how Willie hurt her. I'm not going to use the R word, but you know what I'm getting at. And instantly, I was angry. Really, really angry. And I grabbed my little ball peen hammer, and I said I was going to go take him out. And mom said, you can't do that. Who's going to take care of me and your brothers? And then as we started talking about what happened and whatnot, and I probably threw the N-word out there or something, and mom said, you can't hate a whole race of people because of what one man did. It's like my stalker admitting he's a Nazi, right? That's learned behavior. Mom taught me how not to be a hater. My wife was half black. Baby's mama was full-blooded Filipino, so clearly I'm not a hater. Even though I went through that as a kid, Mom learned me at a young age how wrong it is to hate a stranger, right? Like my stalker. He hates on me, but he don't know me because somebody taught him how to be a hater. Nobody taught him how not to hate. So I'm telling you, stalker, you can undo what was done to you. You don't have to live your whole life being a hater, bro. You know, threatening me and and crank calling me and all your nonsense. You don't upset me. Taking down comments. If you look at my thumbnail in the last live, I took a screenshot that showed 2 comments on that video that aren't there. See, the thing is, stalker, even if I don't read the comment, I got good people that show me love all the time. And the fact that I know the comments come in, you taking them down doesn't change the fact that I got good people that left that comment. You don't affect my life, dude. You need to figure out what's broken and fix yourself, and you'll be happier for it, right? I've been plenty angry in my life, and I had a lot of good reasons to be angry. But fortunately for me, as broken as my mom was, she taught me how not to hate. Mom loved everybody. She was a wreck, but she had all kinds of friends. We always had somebody coming over the house. It was the hippies, right? Back in the 60s, there were a lot of hippies. Love and peace. Anyway, let me check some comments. Raymond, you're here for a reason, not your time to go. God has a plan for you. Thank you, Raymond, and you're absolutely right. Capital currency. Hello, Johnny, hope you're well. I'm hanging in there, man. Struggling with some health issues still, trying to get that taken care of. My good man Eric sent me this stuff. I've been on this along with the ivermectin, trying to kick this parasite in the ass. It's been a little rough because it wears on me, knowing I got that in me, and it really messes with my energy. But I'm doing better, man. It's one day at a time. But all you good folks down there in the comment section, irregardless of the trolls and the haters, you're good people, man. You're there for your family. You do good shit. I know all of you do. I can tell by your comments, man. And I think we all know somebody who struggles, right there with the troll, right? And if you struggle, you can't be afraid to ask for help, right? I saw what my mom and my brother went through, and I know why. They were the kind of people that get real depressed. And trying to do yourself in, that's a desperate act. You just feel like there's no other way to make the pain go away. But there's always another way. For me, it was my dogs. Helped me cope with the pain. That unconditional love that they give. Food for the soul. Doing a kind act for a stranger. I've been out here for years talking about trying to help homeless veterans because of their broken, their PTSD. I get that. Aged out foster children. If you grew up in foster homes, you got plenty of PTSD to go around, trust me. And sometimes it just takes one kind act from a stranger to make the biggest difference in your life. And that's a fact. I had a stranger on YouTube befriend me and do Bible study with me over the phone. Back when I did the INFJ thing out here. She's a sweetheart. She said a prayer for me over the phone once. I was in Cali by the pool, and she said, "Can I say a prayer for you?" Sure. I'm thinking when she goes night-night, she's gonna say, "Dear Lord, would you please help Johnny quit drinking," or something, because back then I was still struggling with the booze. And she proceeds to tell me to shut up so I can pray. And I didn't understand what she meant. I was like, okay. So over the phone, she starts saying, "Dear Lord, da 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 da," out loud over the phone while I'm listening. She's praying to God. I never had nobody do that for me. Never. Never. Not once. And it touched my heart. It inspired me to start looking up in this neck of the woods for a piece of property because I thought there were good people up here. But the sad reality is, for every good person you meet in life, you're going to meet 100 shitheads. It's been my experience. It's 100 to 1. A lot of broken people out there like my stalker. They can't let go of their hate. Their hate for a complete stranger. Whether it's skin color or tattoos or a pit bull, people will hate because it's in them. They never learned how not to hate. Mom taught me how not to hate. I've never been a hater. You got to do something to upset me for me to hate on you. I can't just hate you just because. It just don't work like that. Cause and effect. There's got to be a reason behind it. And now I've found a way to let go of that hate and that anger, even for the ones that did me wrong, because it fucks me up. Hanging on to that, hanging on to grudges. It eats you up like cancer, man. You gotta let it go. LS is in the house. Good advice. I struggle so much to ask for help. I don't know why. Well, it's tough. You don't want to appear to be weak. You don't want to burden other people because you care. And the sad fact is we can't do it alone. I try to come out here every day because you guys help. Me coming out here is my way of asking for help. You know, I came out here asking for help with the dogs and Misfit Island. I come out here every day because I need help. Just to get out of bed, right? I struggle with a lot of grief. And if I didn't come out here every day, I'd be in a very dark place. And I can't do that. You know, like I said, you guys give me faith that there's good folks out there that care, right? Your comments and your well wishes, your prayers, God bless you and all that stuff. It goes a long way when you need help. You know, I need help with my illness. I need help with my spirit, keeping the faith. You know, that the good Lord is going to see me through this. And I'm going to find the right people to help me save dogs. It's my life purpose. Has been for almost 15 years. And that will never change. Because the impact of these little critters is so profound for me that it can't be denied. It drives me. Deep down in my soul, it drives me. And it keeps me straight. It keeps me off the booze. You know, even though I don't struggle with the demons that want to make me leave this planet early at my own hand, doesn't mean I don't struggle deeply with my demons. And back in the day, the only thing that would shut those demons up was drinking. Oh, I can't do that because then it makes the anger worse. So I just push through. And with help from you guys down there in the comment section, it goes a long way. Karina's in the house. Hi, Johnny. How are you, young lady? Hello, everybody. There you go. Henry, yeah, I hear you. Can be rough going through that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The things that I've experienced in my childhood, right? Being there for mom, being there for my brothers, friends, you name it, that's always helped me. You know, mom, another story I've said many times, but mom would wake me up at the middle of the night. Hey, there's a rat in the house. Grab the hammer and kill the rat. Go find it. So I'd be looking around the apartment for a rat that really wasn't there. It was just a rouse to get me out of bed. And then she'd say, oh, don't worry about it. Come talk to me. And I'd sit at the table, little 2-chair table we had. And she'd be going through it. And she needed help. And I'd talk her down. 11, 12 years old. I was mom's shrink. And many times she said, how do you know this stuff? I don't know. I just did, right? God gave me that inner strength. Even as a young kid, I used to have to see Willie every day. And I had thoughts of doing bad things to that dude. But I always heard mom's voice, I need you. It was more important to be there for my mom than it was to do something to Willie for what he did to her. So the dear Lord put something on me at a very, very early age. It's in me to help, to want to help somebody, not hurt somebody. It's in me to want to help somebody, not hate somebody. I got plenty of reasons to hate a lot of people, but I don't hate nobody. It fucks you up, hating on something. It takes up all this real estate inside your head if you're spending all day long hating on somebody, man. I did a lot of that since I came up here. Had a lot of foul shit happen to me since I come up here. But I let it all go. I had to. I wouldn't be here. I'd either be dead or in jail. And that's not in my destiny. I'm still the person I was when I was a little kid. Just want to help, right? That's why I say don't be too proud to ask for help. Because we all need it, right? I come out here every day because I need your help, right? To get through the day. And if you leave a comment, like on my last live, I can see there were at least 2 comments that were left that were taken down. Just know I got the comment. You know what I mean? It's your intention, right? I know that you made the comment. It says everything. Just because some troll takes it down doesn't mean your intentions aren't noticed. And I appreciate them very much. Richard, respect always, JohnnyO. Thank you, brother. Educate instead of hate. Amen. That's what I'm saying. Sanjo, good to see you. Johnny, your childhood gave you inner strength at a very young age. You better fucking believe it, man. Thank you for that, Al. So good to see you, brother. I'm trying to get back to Redwood real soon. I just got to straighten out some money issues. I'm going to sell that FXR and that dually and that 454 3/4 ton 4x. I'm gonna get rid of all that, and I'm coming home, dude. Go to UCSF or maybe go see your doctor, whatever it takes to get this health issue squared away. I want to go walk down Woodside Road, walk past the Fox Theater, step on the ground that I walked on as a kid. I need that. Being this far from home and being hated on the way I've been hated on since I got here, I can't wait to get back home. In fact, I was pricing real estate up in Nevada County where I used to live. There's so much up there that's affordable right now. So once I get this place sold, I'm pretty sure I can move back to Cali. I got to pay for it in full because I ain't carrying no homeowner's insurance and fire insurance. I can't wait to get back home, Sanjo. Drive past Kennedy. Go up to Stallstaff Park. There's a pro boxing show at the Fox in a couple of weeks. No shit. Boy, I'd love to see that. Man. Fox Theater. I remember sneaking in there through the side door. Go see The Exorcist. Mom was so pissed. There's another story. At the walk-in theater, me and Al just talking about the Fox. I asked Mom if I could go to the movies, and she says, what are you going to go see? And I told her The Exorcist was playing. She goes, you're not going to go watch that devil movie. She was religious. And of course, being a kid, I went and snuck in. And back in those days, you saw 2 movies. And there was an intermission. And that intermission, everybody's standing in the lobby, eating popcorn, smoking a cigarette. Because back then, you could smoke in a movie theater. And we were hanging out in the lobby, and Mom's walking by outside, bad timing. She sees me, she's on her way to the bar. She sees me and she's pissed, boy. She storms into the movie theater, snatches me by my hair and drags me out of there in front of all my friends, yelling at me, I told you you can't see that. She pulls me down the street and around the corner to the bar and brings me in the bar and shows me off to her friends. Look at my boy, he's so handsome. Go play shuffleboard. So many stories. Like I said, I got plenty of reasons to be angry, but it drives me to help, not hurt. Drives me to love, not hate. No matter what Mom put me through. Sanjo, everyone smokes inside. Yeah, no doubt. Eric, same. Richard Downey, hit the like button. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the reminder, brother. Thank you. Karina, do you have a plan for the weekend? No. I'm under the weather today. I think I'm going to rest most of the day, and hopefully my energy will be up tomorrow. I got chores, things I want to get done outside, but no. I just take it one day at a time. Oh, I see 14 and 8. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And anybody else that's watching that's got no love for Johnny, thanks for watching. I don't know what else to say. I'm not hating on my trolls no more, or my stalkers and all the rest. I just feel sorry for you people. You never learned how not to hate, how to have love in your heart, how to be neighborly, love thy neighbor. You folks just never learned. Instead, you learned how to hate, and you never learned how to unhate. That's not my problem. And because you can't ask for help, well, you go ahead and just hate all you want. No fucks given. Sorry your mom LS, sorry, your mom does sound really difficult, humiliating you like that. Yeah, mom was broken. You know, I look back on the way she behaved back in the day. She had a lot of demons, man. When my mom was 12, her mom left, moved to Palm Springs. She was a nurse to go hang out with the Rat Pack. I think grandma was a drinker and grandpa was the anchor in the house. And so when mom was 12, she was the woman of the house, right? She did the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry. She told me a story once when she got her period, she was too embarrassed to ask grandpa for money for Kotex. So she said she just had to fold up toilet paper, and sometimes that didn't work so good, and have an accident at school and got all embarrassed and stuff. Mom used to tell me a lot when I was a kid, right? I was her shrink. So she would dump on me a great deal. Shit you don't tell a kid. But it made me very mature for my age. Stories mom told me about stuff. She told me about her life as a kid and grandma leaving. Grandpa raised my mom, my aunt, and my uncle. And then when I came home from the hospital, I was there too. There were 4 of us in a 2-bedroom house. And then when mom got pregnant with my brother James, grandpa said, you got to go. He told her when she got pregnant with me, you can bring this one home, because I didn't know it until much later, but mom had another son before me and put him up for adoption. And I learned that through Ancestry. That was a secret mom took to the grave. She never told me. Not to mention, mom gave me the wrong name for my dad, and Ancestry gave me the name of my dad. And he was military. He's buried at the military cemetery in South San Francisco, right down the street from my junior high school. I used to walk past my father's grave on my way down to Tanforan Shopping Center from Ingval, and I didn't even know he was there. And my father was murdered by his best friend because he was trying to protect his best friend's girlfriend from his best friend. His best friend was trying to get at his girl, and my dad got between them. I don't know what happened, the particulars, but the dude left, some dude named Pug, and then he came back with the rifle and shot and killed my dad. And I don't know what my mom knew, you know, what she went through when she was in high school. She had to drop out of high school because she got pregnant. I remember her telling me that, but I didn't put the math together. She was 20 when she had me, so she was well out of high school. But when she was 16 or 17, she got pregnant. So I got a brother out there somewhere that I never met. 2. I got another brother out there from my dad, from that he had with another lady, and he lives up in Washington State. And when I found out about him through Ancestry, through my relatives, I said, I want to go meet him. And he didn't want nothing to do with it. He was afraid his mom would get upset, right? Because evidently my dad made me when he was with her. So he cheated on her. And here comes Johnny while he was with another woman. And that brother is a year younger than me. So, you know, infidelity has been around since the Bible, clearly. Thank you. I see 9 and 9. Thank you, guys. Let me see. Double tap. Got that one from Richard Downing. Karina, I'm doing Halloween video this weekend, and LOL, it's gonna be funny as hell. I like to make people laugh. Well, good for you, Karina. The world needs more laughter. Thank you. LS. I can see why you were not super into marriage and having kids. You dealt with too much responsibility too young. Well, you know what? The sad truth is, I really wanted to get married and have kids, but it didn't work out too well. I really did. I wanted a family because I didn't have a family. And it turned into a shit show. Baby's mama came to California from Oregon, and she said to me once, many years later, when she was drunk over the phone, the only reason I got pregnant by you is because you lived in California and child support paid double in California compared to Oregon. So I was nothing more than a paycheck to that lady. She had intentions of getting knocked up in California before I even met her. And her motive was child support. And she took my kid back to Oregon when she was 6 months old. Then I met wifey, and she knocked me off my socks. She started stripping, and I went down a whole nother path. Because when baby's mama took my kid, it broke me real bad. And I went off the deep end. Started hanging out with the wife, doing drugs and drinking. But before that, I was extremely responsible. Worked 2 jobs, didn't party, didn't do dope, partied on the weekends, but I was very responsible. You know, I got to be there for the first 6 months of my daughter's life, and I got a bunch of still photos. And then after she took her to Oregon, I went up to Oregon several times to visit her and paid child support for 18 years, right? I never missed a child support payment, and if I did, I made up for it. Had a fight with the ex. She sicked the DA on me, and then they attached my paycheck. But before that, I was sending checks every month. So Johnny's got lots of stories. And like I said, lots of reasons to hate and be angry, but I've learned to let all that shit go. Nothing I can do about the past. Alex, hello from Houston, Texas, my friend. Right on. Good to see you, Alex. Always a pleasure. Alex, welcome aboard. There you go. Thank you guys for the 9 thumbs up. There's a lot of people that struggle in the world. There's a lot of people that got shitty stories just like me, and they might not have that inner strength to want to keep going. And if you got a friend in your life and you know they struggle, check in on them, man. You don't have to pry and beat them up and, oh, what's wrong? Are you okay? But all you got to do is call them and make them feel that you care. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't want to talk about their demons. And then they'll get isolated and stuck in their head, and people will shy away from them because most people don't want to deal with it when somebody's having a hard time. And that's when they need you the most. And I'm sure everybody out there knows somebody having a hard time. And if you don't, well, I'll tell you what, there's plenty of people on the street that are having a hard time. And showing a kind act for a stranger, giving a homeless person a donut and a hot cup of coffee and say, you know what, man, I hope things get better. That's huge for somebody on the street. To have a stranger walk up to you and tell you that they care and give you a donut and a cup of coffee, right? It goes a long way, man. And it's food for the soul. Say it all the time. Go to your local dog shelter and take a dog for a walk, man. That's my passion. But I know each and every one of you got your own passion in life. We all do. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. You see the world the way I do for similar reasons, whether you're broken or not, but you got a decent heart, otherwise you wouldn't be here for me. And I appreciate that. you know. Trolls can take down comments, but they can't take away what's in your heart. And if any of you have left a comment and I didn't respond, it's because your comment got taken down. And if you want me to see it, just say, Johnny, I left a comment, it got taken down, so I'm gonna put this, I put this on one of your old videos so it won't get taken down. See, my troll will stalk videos that I post, right? My most recent ones. And he'll sit there and wait for a comment to come up so he can knock it down. That's his broken. But if you've left a comment and you really want me to see it, just put it on an old video and I'll get it and I'll respond to it. I respond to everything. Always have, always will, just like I read everybody's comments. So don't ever think any comment you ever left, I took it down, or how come I didn't hear a response. It's because I didn't get a chance to see it. But I know you put it because I can see it. Look at my last thumbnail on the last live. It shows 2 comments and there's no comments on that video. That's my broken troll, right? Somebody taught him how to hate a stranger, taught him how to join, you know, these guys, and he's got hate in his heart. Not my problem. It's unfortunate. I feel sorry for him. You know, he never had somebody like my mom to learn him how not to hate. Mom was way broken. She dumped a lot on me, but she was a good person. She suffered, right? She was broken. She suffered from her childhood. I get it. And unfortunately, many parents repeat, you know, the mistakes that were made when they were kids. Mom started drinking too early in life, you know. She took after grandma. I think grandma left so she could go live in Palm Springs and be a nurse and hang out at the bars, because grandma had this big, huge, like a brandy snifter looking glass, big giant one, like big as a fishbowl. And it was stuffed full of matches, little matches that you would get back in the day. When you go to a bar, they would have their name on the matches because everybody smoked inside the bar, and every bar had, it's like advertisement, right? Having matches from the bar. Well, grandma used to collect those matches, and I used to steal them to light my joints and my cigarettes, and mom would get after me like, don't use grandma's matches. Those were souvenirs from grandma hanging out in the bar. You know, the Rat Pack days, Dean Martin and all that shit. I think that's what grandma was all about. And so mom was a drinker like grandma, because grandpa didn't drink. He had 2 jobs. Worked at the shipyards in San Francisco and then was a janitor at night in San Francisco, raising kids and paying a mortgage all by himself because his wife left him with 3 kids. It's not just men that cut and run. Women do it too, right? Grandma abandoned her family to go party. Mom did the same. Mom couldn't handle life. When I lived in the apartment with mom, you know, the Willie story, she didn't do laundry. And I wanted a clean shirt for school. And she told me to wear a dirty shirt. I said, I'm not putting on a dirty shirt. I got to go to school. Right? I cared about my appearance. I didn't want to be teased. She says, oh, it's not that bad. Just wear a dirty shirt. And I slipped. And I said, fuck you. First time. Junior high school, 7th grade. But when mom got mad. Mom was tough. She got mad and slapped me in the face. I said, did that feel good? Do it again. She did it again. I said it again. She did it again. I said it again. She did it again. We went through that 3 fucking times. I antagonized her. And then she tried to slap me a 4th time, and I didn't say nothing because it hurt. So I grabbed her by her wrists and I set her in the couch. I said, you're never going to strike me again. She got on the phone, called the social worker, and said I was incorrigible. Social worker came, picked me up, and took me back to the foster homes because mom didn't do laundry. Just say it. De Beer, where are you from? San Francisco Bay Area, born and raised. Redwood City to be exact. Yeah, your grandpa is amazing. Yeah, grandpa was the salt of the earth, right? He worked real hard. I remember he bought a television set, big one. Well, back then they were all big, like a piece of furniture big. Had tubes in them. And it was a big deal to get a television set, black and white. If I was 62, 63, 64, 65, 63, 64, 65 would have been the time frame that I lived with grandpa, and used to watch Lawrence Welk. Hated it. But then big time wrestling would come on, and Gunsmoke, and all these old school television or old school TV shows. I remember this stuff very vividly. I can even remember the smell, what grandpa's house smelled like. Everybody smoked. And because grandpa worked at Kaiser shipyards, he was a steel worker. And he got lung cancer. Used to smoke Camel non-filter cigarettes, but I think he got lung cancer from the shipyard's asbestosis. And they cut out one of his lungs, brought him home from the hospital. And I remember I was in the foster home at this time, and I came for a visit, and mom said, we got to go see grandpa. He's dying. And I said, I don't want to go in the room. Mom says, you got to go see him. He was stocky like me. I'm 185 pounds now. I got a lot of my weight back on, and grandpa was built like me. But when he got home from the hospital after they took out one of his lungs, mom said he weighed 100 pounds. He looked like a skeleton. And then he died shortly after. So I've seen a lot of shit as a kid. Shit you shouldn't have to see. But grandpa worked hard, 2 jobs. His house was paid for. When grandpa died, the inheritance from the house was split up between mom, my uncle, and my aunt. And my uncle was in charge of my mom's money because mom wasn't right. So grandpa put Uncle Mike in charge of mom's money, and he would break her off like an allowance. She needed a car, so he bought her a car. She'd need money for this or that, and he'd give her a little bit at a time, and mom used to be pissed. It's like, fuck that. I want my money. But Uncle Mike was the executor of mom's inheritance. I think it was $37,000 split 3 ways, so it wasn't very much money. This was 1977. Because I got a picture of me wearing a shirt, 1976 bicentennial bullshit, in grandpa's house before he died. So this was after that. So it had to have been 77, 78 when grandpa died. Seen a lot of shit as a kid. No doubt about it. More stories than any kid should have. But it gave me that inner strength. Seeing all that at a young age, it hardens you to the ways of the world, right? It breaks you, there's no doubt about that. But if it doesn't break you for the bad, it breaks you for the good. That's why I'm charitable. That's why I want to help. Just wired that way. Richard Downey, Gunsmoke was a great series. Do you remember the series called Champion the Wonder Horse? as a kid back in the 60s and 70s. Champion the Wonder Horse. It doesn't ring a bell. I remember the Lone Ranger. The Little Rascals. I used to love the Little Rascals because it was me, right? Little ghetto kids running amok, making little go-karts and shit out of, wooden boxes and all that. I love the Little Rascals. The Waltons, more wholesome TV. Dennis the Menace. Mr. Ed the Talking Horse. I Dream of Jeannie. I was a TV-aholic. It was my escape from my childhood. Watching TV, I was in the TV, right? I wasn't sitting in Grandpa's house or Mom's apartment. I was in the TV set far, far away. I had a great imagination. Lost in Space, Will Robinson. When I watched that television show, I was on the flying saucer far, far away from fucking planet Earth, trust me. Anything to get away. That's good money at the time. There you go. I love the Rascals. Who was your favorite character? Spanky, because he was the responsible one, the little chubby one. I was a little chubby as a kid, stocky, chubby. So, Spanky. I love Buckwheat too. He was funnier than shit. The only black kid on the show. I identified with black kids because that was my neighborhood at one time in my life. I identified with poor people, right? We were poor. Welfare, food stamps, and cockroaches. That was my childhood. Mom had to be on housing authority. She had no money. I used to ask her where we get the money, and she says the government takes care of us because Grandpa paid taxes. That's how I understood where your tax money goes to work. Back then, right? You earn a paycheck, you pay taxes. That money, those tax dollars were to help the poor people. Poor people in this country don't get help from the government. Shit. Look at North Carolina. Most of the people that lost everything up that way were poor people. The government don't give a fuck about no poor people, but if it was rich people that lived up there, they'd have all kinds of help. Government don't care about poor people. They used to. Not for a long time. Just saying. Yes, they were cool. Richard Downey. Yeah, the Little Rascals, man. I love that show. Here's a great one for you. The Bowery Boys. There's another one. I don't know if any of you remember the Bowery Boys. Those were little hood rats in New York City. I love that show. I love that show. Stimey. Stimmy was my favorite. He was Petey's main person. Oh, there you go. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. That's why I named my blanket Petey. Pit bulls have been around a long time. There was a pit bull in our neighborhood that when I lived upstairs from Willie, apartment that was right next to Washington School, and he was a mean dog, boy. That dog almost bit me a bunch of times. And he just ran free in the street kind of deal. And that dog scared the fuck out of me. And it's funny how later in life, I'm a pit bull advocate. But one of the first times I almost got bit was by a pit bull. That dog would have torn me to pieces. Lousy owner, don't know how to take care of their animals. But any dog that gets mistreated, just like any human that gets mistreated, can be pretty fucking mean and ornery. But with enough love and understanding, you can turn that around. Sorry, I'm preoccupied watching this little bird pull up a worm. He was tugging on it and tugging on it and tugging on it, trying to get it out of the ground. It was kind of cute. So how you guys doing today? I've been sitting here storytelling for a minute. You guys having a good day? Got big plans for the weekend? Anything special? How's the weather? How's the family? LS, how's your dog doing? I don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Monopolize the conversation. Oh man, memory lane. I got so many fucking stories. So many stories. I would love to get on a podcast with somebody and chop it up and have them actually ask me questions, right? Boy, I could go on and on and on for hours. Karina, I stay in North Carolina and thank God I wasn't affected by the storm. Amen, young lady. Amen. Richard Downey, awesome blanket. Don't some English lady gift that to you? Love it. Yeah, you're right, Richard. She was from England. Muslim gal, black gal. She was very sweet. Mailed that to me back when I was doing the INFJ thing. LS, much better. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, young lady. Speedy recovery for your little doggy, man. I'm so sorry about all that nonsense. Yeah, storytelling. Got so many stories. So many stories. Stories about the ex-wife, mom, childhood, you name it, man. Drama up here. Fuck. So many stories. And my memory's real sharp when it comes to memory lane. If I get triggered on a memory and I start to talk about it, it's like it's alive. You know, talking about those television shows, I could see them right now. I Dream of Jeannie, Blink, with her blonde ponytail whipping around. My Favorite Martian, little antennas coming out of the dude's head. Dennis the Menace and his slingshot. Fuck. Too funny. Favorite wrestler as a kid? Rocky Johnson. That's The Rock's dad. You know, Dwayne Johnson, his dad was Rocky Johnson. He was a big time wrestler and he was buffed, boy. He always impressed me because of his physique. There was Pat Patterson, Ray Stevens, Haystack Calhoun. I remember a bunch of them. But Rocky Johnson was my favorite because he was so buffed. I did my little bodybuilding show back in 1987. So working out and getting muscles and having a good physique, that was kind of important to me as a kid. Rocky Johnson. Yeah, he was my favorite wrestler. All-Star Wrestling. If you Google All-Star Wrestling, I'm sure you can find some old videos of The Rock's dad wrestling. That's how he got into the sport. I used to go to wrestling matches at the Cow Palace in San Francisco and watch Hulk Hogan. Do you remember the Beast? Yeah. I think he was the one that used to bite the turnbuckles and pull all the foam out and shit. Yeah. All-Star Wrestling. They'd have some cute chick come walking out with a little cardboard star with glitters stuck to it, and she would put it next to the winner's name after the match. How about roller derby? I remember roller derby. Slamming each other in a roller skating rink, going around and around in circles. We used to go to the roller skating rink on Friday nights, Friday and Saturday nights, before we started cruising on the El Camino Real. Before you got your driver's license, you hung out at the roller rink. Try to get up the nerve to ask some girl to slow skate for the slow song and hold her hand and skate around the rink. And then it was cruising in a car, yelling at the girls in the car next to you. Now kids are stuck on their fucking gadget. They don't know how to live life. I just saw something, get this. Some kid, 14-year-old kid, left this planet early at his own hand because he had a relationship with AI. Some kind of AI, artificial intelligence chick on the gadget, got this kid all heartbroken, and he knew it wasn't real. But the way the gadget talked to him got him so fucked up in his head and said something about, I wish I could be with you. And this poor kid thought the only way he could be with the AI voice on his gadget was to leave this world, and then he could be united with his love of his life at 14 years old. That's the world we live in. Kids falling in love with AI. Are you kidding me? I got AI in the comment section. I know who it is. I'm not going to say. But the comment's always the same. The intro's always the same. And when they respond, it's kind of mechanical. So I got at least one AI stalker in the comment section. Tony. Yeah, weird. No, really, man, look it up. Mom, I just saw the video. Mom is suing Google or whoever it is because their AI is not supposed to be able to do some of the shit that it does. But this AI basically, for lack of a better word, seduced this kid. And this poor kid thought the only way he could be with his girl was to do himself in, man. How many kids out there are talking to AI? That is so fucking weird to me, man. But then again, they've had a cell phone in their hand before they went to school. You know, mom would give a little kid, little preschooler, a phone to play some video game while she's doing the dishes. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Wow. Yeah. Seriously. I'm sure you can find it. You go on YouTube and punch in AI. I don't want to say the word, right? Starts with an S. You use certain words. The gadget don't like it, but yeah, falling in love with AI. Like Romeo and Juliet, right? Some 14-year-old kid and his gadget. Man. And this AI would say some pretty seductive stuff, according to mom. You know, stuff that, you know, anyway, go do your homework. You'll see what I'm talking about. I heard something about that, Tony. Yeah, that is sad. But humans are vulnerable with live stuff. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But what's spooky is the AI is so good at interacting with a young mind that it could seduce this kid into thinking it was real. And even had some, I'm pretty sure mom said they had some rather, you know, frisky conversations, so, shall we say. So I don't know how far AI was going with this kid in regards to dirty talk or any of that kind of thing. But, you know, 14 years old, puberty, right? If this kid started talking to AI kind of sexy like, does AI talk back sexy like, you know, dirty talk and all that kind of stuff? Crazy. Crazy. Now they say there's porn sites that are AI, that the women on these porn sites aren't even real. Fuck, man. Bizarre. Bizarre. They're saying Hollywood's going to be done in 10 years, that all the new movies won't have actors and actresses in them anymore. It'll all be computer generated. The storyline, the people you see, because AI will be so good, artificial intelligence will be so good that you won't be able to tell real people from vapors, right? Wait till the robots take over and we're living in the Terminator movie. Lonely, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Tony LS. Yeah, it is wild, dude. And I get it. I'm plenty lonely myself, but I'm not hanging out with AI. I hang out with you guys. You guys are real. Well, one of them ain't. I know I got one AI commenter in the comment section. Like I said, the intro is always the same, and any responses are very short and kind of generic, and it just doesn't feel real to me. Strange times we live in, man. And this election that's coming up, spooky. People are so easily manipulated by their gadget. What you see on YouTube or what you see in the news or what you get emails or whatever, so easy manipulated. Just like this little 14-year-old kid, adults are just as bad. You know, all this drama, rhetoric, all the lies, all this shit talking about Trump being a Nazi. Are you kidding me? It's crazy. This election's going to stir the pot really, really bad, really bad. Because people don't know how to think for themselves. So easily influenced and so easily manipulated. This life matters more than that life. George Soros, that clown just attempted or may even succeeded buying a whole shit ton of radio stations, and he's not a United States citizen, and there's laws that say he can't do that because he's not from here, and that the FAA or whatever is going to let him do it. Make a special exception right before the election so that he can manipulate what you hear on your car radio. Bunch of AM stations or whatever it is. Sad. Once again, people need to learn to think for themselves and see things for what they really are, not what some AI bullshit is telling you is real. You know, a young brain is very malleable, very easily manipulated. Like we were talking, LS, your job as a preschool teacher, giving that young child the proper foundation to interact with other kids and whatnot, that's huge, huge. I remember shit from when I was that young. I'm 62 years old. I can still remember shit from when I was 5 years old. Living with mom and grandpa. I can remember stuff from back then. So things that are said and done to a small child stick with them for their whole fucking life. There's no doubt about it. And if somebody has the intention to manipulate when it comes to a child, it's easy. Kids are gullible, right? They believe everything they hear because you're the adult, right? Spooky. And the sad truth is a lot of adults never grew up, and so they're just as easily as manipulated as children are, sad to say. But to get back on point, the reason I wanted to come out here was because I'd seen some videos today talking about veterans leaving this planet too soon at their own hand. They don't get the help they deserve from the government. They push a pill on them. They need a hug. They need a friendly ear. So you know somebody out there that suffers. Just be there for them, right? Just tell them you care. now more than ever. Could be a neighbor. I mean, everybody's got walks in different walks of life, right? So whoever you interact with, whether they be a veteran or a foster child or whatever, I think we can all admit we know people that suffer. And it's important to just lend a helping hand, especially now. So important. Because the worse things get, the harder it's going to be for people that suffer. Homeless population is going to explode. I follow a lot of financial stuff. The economy's in bad shape. Home prices, interest loans on homes just went up from 6% to 7%. Even though the government's lowering their interest rate on houses are going up again. More hard times, more inflation. Food just keeps getting more and more expensive. Credit cards are all maxed out. It's fucked, man. And being there for each other is the only way we're going to get through this. Being your brother's keeper, love thy neighbor, and all that stuff, now more than ever. Because all of us are going to need help. And helping each other right here on this little YouTube channel is a great beginning. Like I said many times, any of my misfits out there really fall on hard times and like, Johnny, man, can I come see you? Yeah, come see me. Come visit. If it's a good fit, don't ever leave. I will start this charity. I will save dogs one day. Can you hear me? I just got a phone call come through. Can you hear me? I need to know if it froze the feed. Richard, each one reaches one, each one teaches one. There you go. Audio is good. Thank you. Yeah, I just got another phone call come through in the middle of a live yet again, just like yesterday. My poor broken troll. I feel sorry for this guy. I do. Somebody taught him how to hate and put him through the ringer as a kid, and he exhibits bad behavior because he's broken and he doesn't have the inner strength to fix himself. See, I wasn't a hater and I wasn't a troll. I was just angry. And my dog's dying took away a lot of that anger. It taught me how precious life is and what's most important in life. And it's not vengeance and it's not sticking up for yourself. It's being present for the ones you love. And don't get caught up in all the drama because it'll keep you from your passion. I get that. Eric, yes, can still hear you. Yeah, I just got a voicemail. I don't know who it is. I think this one was from Virginia or something. He's lonely, lonely man. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who that phone call's from. I'll check it. There's a voicemail. I don't know if it's my troll looking for help because the actual phone number came up. I feel sorry for him, like I said. I can't be angry at somebody that's broken, no matter the threats. His voicemail yesterday. I watch all your videos. I watch everything. I watch everything you do. Like he's spying on me in the neighborhood or some shit. I just laughed. Too much, man. Too much. How long we been at this? Damn near an hour and a half. I'm getting a little hungry. Haven't eaten anything today, so I need to get at some lunch. But I wanted to talk about this. Like I said, YouTube brought me these videos talking about our veterans, and I saw another one talking about construction workers, you know, people in life that struggle, and the amount of people that are leaving the planet early at their own hand is skyrocketing, right? Construction workers that are out of work, that have been paying the bills and raising the family and can't handle being out of work. I get that. I know what that's like. Pressure of life, start drinking, Your mind don't work right, and before you know it, you got these fucked up thoughts in your head about doing something you shouldn't be doing. You just got to reach out and ask for help. You know, like I said, I come out here every day asking for your help, your nice comments and support, because I need it. You know, I don't have my dogs here to pick up the slack right now. And you guys go a long way, and it means a great deal to me, and I appreciate it a great deal. I love you guys. Really, love you guys. You give me faith. Like I've said many times, you give me faith in humanity. There's good folks out there. You just got to find them. And you can't find them if you don't ask for help. So that's what I'm doing out here, is asking for help, right? You guys sharing these videos or putting comments on videos, even if they get taken down. You're doing God's work for this old man, and it's very appreciated. Richard, I support another channel, BGK, and saw the lady putting her dog asleep. Oh shit, at the vet. It really hit me hard watching that dog lay its head down. Oh, dude. Owner's arms and passed away. Fuck. LS, yeah. I get it, Richard. I just went through it. Put mama dog down and petted her asleep, and Kimba died in my arms, man. I know what it feels like. It's hard. It's hard. But we got to keep going, get some more dogs, you know, do the damn thing. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, I love you guys, and thank you for all your well wishes and kind words, man. Goes a long way. And in your daily life, a kind act for a stranger, just like you do for me, hold the door open, go take a doggy for a walk, leave a nice comment in the comment section. It goes a long way. So on that note, love the ones that love you back. Do your very best with the rest. Don't forget, don't forget. And Johnny loves you. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.